Opening round is done. SuperCoach is finally here for 2026, and we've learnt one thing, one takeaway from the weekend, and that is 5 names was right. Simeon Kingsley, Thomas Wilson, welcome back to the Lair. You are up and about. You're fading Naz, and you've killed him.
Yep. Yep, I'll take that applause. Hello, Phantom. How are you?
Yeah, you don't know how to respond because you're on cloud 9 at the moment. You call about Nasiah, Wanganeen, Miller. You're going to fade him. Had 63 SuperCoach points. Curtailed by the Pies in the second half. Going to be a big talking point of the show. Big show coming up, Chief.
Huge
you are here.
Show.
Welcome.
Huge. You're up and about too.
Oh, we're all excited this time of year. Yes, we're finally here.
Yeah. I'm up and about too, 5 names, because there's something we need to review right off the top of the show. We've been asking the listeners, the viewers, all pre-season to join the Lair League. Yep. You can still join, of course, 128-532. And we had a goal of 5,000 members, at which point we said Phantom would do a punishment.
Yes.
We have an unspecified punishment, still TBD. We've hit 5K. Over the weekend. Easily
well
as
done,
well.
Lair. No, well done, Lair. Loyal Lair listeners. Get the cheer.
That's probably the bigger cheer. I reckon that deserves that, when me making just...
Thank you. We love our loyal Lair listeners.
We're heading so close to round 1 now. It starts this Thursday. A reminder, if you are a SuperCoach noob, that opening round did not count. Did not count for SuperCoach, so you still can make your team ahead of the first partial lockout.
It did count for break-evens. So that's the big thing.
Scores, yes, and that is why we're going to be talking about some of these scores on this episode today, which ones tickle our fancy in terms of making us some cash generation, and also guys that may lose cash off the top. Phantom, you mentioned one player that now everyone is potentially joining. 5 names in fading, or maybe you could hold stick fat. So lots to talk about on the show.
What's my punishment? So I was having to talk to the smug chief every Monday morning.
Well, that's what we got to decide. So this episode, we'd love your comments in the YouTube channel, on Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Let us know what the Phantom should be doing, and we'll get that punishment done maybe after round 1, the first episode back. What do you reckon, Phant?
Yep.
All right.
Maybe.
Get it in.
Gather around. Maybe we just make it a big gather around thing
already, but yeah, looking forward to these final suggestions. We'll whittle that down and get back to you. But if you haven't joined yet, 128-532, jump in the Lair League.
Yeah, it's going to be a big show. I had to bring my coffee in. It's been a big weekend. It's been a big few hours this morning, Monday morning. My team's done.
It's done.
I've revealed my team, codesports.com and the SuperCoach app. Get there and check the full thing out. Now we're going to talk about our teams a little bit later. I'm going to go through in detail as well in the coming days. But looking good, Chief.
Looking good,
Big calls we've had to make, though.
Yeah, I haven't decided if that's going to be another episode, actually, or if we're going to roll into this one. We'll see how long we take, Phant. We might milk it out, do another episode, I think, for that one. So stay tuned. But yes, all team reveals will be coming soon. But Phantom, it is round 1.
We've had to make some big calls, and that was the point, because there are some key things we're going to talk about, some key names, and it's going to split us. It's going to divide us on the show here. It's going to divide the SuperCoach community, and probably be the difference between what you're going to do in round 1, your total scores. But I'm starting off by saying back yourself in.
Yeah.
Adjusting where necessary. Who are we talking about?
Exactly. Adjust as needed. We're going to talk about some specific names that we are getting very keen on, and I've even got some data from behind the scenes. Some data behind the scenes on who we've been taking in and out of our side. So some ownership sort of changes, if you will, behind the scenes. So I can talk more about that. And obviously this is just to Monday sort of morning data.
You need data when you've spend the weekend rubbing shoulders like you two have been. So
race trade as well. Race trades. That's all.
First of all, though, let's talk about some of the just numbers in general, because we saw the new rules finally in action for real games on the weekend in opening round. Scoring in general seemed to be way up. We saw a lot of 100-plus point games, except old Ross the Boss kept those scores down for the final game of the round.
Worked for him.
Scoring was up. Seemed like fast ball movement was up, as we kind of all expected. Any sort of takeaways that we can glean from this opening round, specifically for SuperCoach? I think the ruck rule was something we were looking at, something that I just off the top noticed, the time on ground factor, something we probably haven't spoken about as much the preseason is the lack of sub. I don't think we sort of thought about it as a negative thing at all in SuperCoach because we know who's playing. But looking at certain types of players, this is what I noticed. We have some new tactics emerging, which obviously was going to happen. So a player like Papley playing 57% time on ground, not a SuperCoach option for us, but
they basically use him
basically playing as a sub. Well, Sheldrick the same.
Yeah. Well,
50%.
The AFL, they've abolished the subs, but they haven't actually lifted the number of rotations.
No, interchange,
Yeah. So it's just like, if you kept doing that, if you kept like burning, you have to have at least somebody who's going to be on capped rotations.
There have been clubs over the preseason as well who just weren't sure exactly the best way to use it still. So we saw a few different strategies over the weekend. We'll get more as well. I know we need to know before we pick our team, but also we're not going to find out exactly what the best way and what the clubs are going to do in majority moving forward until we see every team play, because we saw Scott Pendlebury on Sunday night just come on at pretty much the end of every quarter, sit the first 20 or so minutes on the bench, come on, have an impact. Perfect for Scott Pendlebury because we know he can do that. It also is going to extend his career potentially as well, given his age and given how many minutes he can play. So
yeah, Jack McRae was another, unfortunately, for anyone who drafted him, like myself. Looking likely he only played 52% time on ground. So yeah,
wasn't
some
very good,
emerging,
52% either.
and maybe even something to think of. We've obviously got the 3,300 point rule. Could the pie just be split a little bit more? Do we see some of the top end scoring just drop down overall?
Well, it's going to have to be.
It has to.
Or there's or there's going to be sometimes there'll be real high, and the bottom end will be really low, which we're hoping. But yeah, there will be some adjustment.
The other thing I think you'll notice, you saw maybe, I think you're going to see a lot of teams, especially if a guy like Bont, I'm going to put Jordan Dawson in this bracket as well for Crow. Someone they're going to play a little more forward, I reckon.
Resting forward.
Yeah, resting forward, so you don't waste, don't have to use the interchange rotation or whatever, one of those. I think, Bont, this could be Bont playing more forward. I think Dawson's going to play more forward. So Sydney, Chad Warner played a fair bit forward as well. So
Hayden Young would have to be one of those guys, much more easier to pay his mid-price than one of those premium guys. But is it a negative thing though? They're staying out on the park. Yeah. They were talking about this. It's to sort of limit using them in an interchange. So they're actually staying on the ground instead of coming to the bench. But are we seeing the forward time as a negative thing, or just they're still out there? They're still hopefully scoring if they're a quality player.
I think, with some guys like your Bont and your Dawson, they're still doing it because they can just take those, and Young as well, actually. I think Young's that similar kind of ilk of player to like a Dawson, where they can take, those contested marks forward of centre, potentially kick a goal. I think that still helps them out a little bit. But yeah, I should be interested in terms of DPP later on, like Chad.
And as we saw, the ball's moving fast. What the AFL wants, the AFL coaches are going to, they're hoping to isolate these type of players, get the ball to them quickly, one out. Jordan Dawson one out, even Nick Daicos one out. Marcus Bontempelli, we know one out against anyone.
Yeah.
So it could result in more goals and a want from the team to do that.
The other thing was the halfback, like guys like Nick Blake. He was like, it's going to benefit that stand rule. Is going to really benefit them. It's going to be really fast. Yeah,
and you can play 8 attacking defenders like Bevo did.
Yeah,
good SuperCoach.
All right. Well, I think let's get into some of the bigger talking points in terms of just scoring and just roles that we noticed on the weekend. But I will start out. I remember last season, heading into round 1, it might have been a week out. We saw a bunch of bullets hit. Remember, we didn't get the chance to pick a Bontempelli, an Errol Gulden last season. A Zach Butters was out. This season, now touchwood, we are recording on a Monday. We've only had one great player ruled out from the weekend. Unfortunately,
are you doing a song at Gathering?
McCluggage going down. So he's probably the only premium, and obviously with the early buy wasn't a super popular pick, but we didn't have any huge names of note to be worried about. I did see a Lockie Ash sort of stretching out the hamstring at one point. Some people were noticing that Nasiah, who we'll talk about very shortly, I promise, had a bit of ice on the knee after the game. Yeah, but
Rowan Marshall also concussion, so he's missing.
So TDK?
TDK option. All right, let's talk about it. Christian Petracca, 170 points. Got to be one of the biggest talking points of the weekend. I mean, a lot of us already had him in our teams.
Well, I'll talk because you guys had him.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you have him?
Well, now you can't not have him.
Yeah.
I didn't have him, had to bring him in. what he did against the Cats, 34 touches, 3 goals, and also the Suns' early draw, which we've spoken about.
West Coast and Richmond in the next two.
So he generally could.
So you just can't not. That is a necessary adjustment if you didn't have him.
He could kill West Coast. Like,
That's
this should be nearly 200 or.
Is it the thing? That's the number one thing you must do if you didn't have him in, right?
Yeah, and Phantom.
Yep.
Opening round.
And Phantom, you mentioned me, but I didn't have me.
You didn't have. Well, you change your team every 5 seconds, so we don't know, Chief.
So I'm sitting here on the Petracca Island, saying, "Come on,
Petracca's in. Make the adjustment. It has to happen."
Phantom, quickly for anyone that doesn't know about this price change cycle that we're talking about. So prices in SuperCoach change after 3 games played. You have to have played 3 games for the price to then change after that round. But for a player like Petracca, given he played opening round, these opening rounds do count for the price change. You don't get the score. You don't get 170 when you field in this week or when he has his bye. That doesn't count, but it does count for price changes. Can you just walk us through how that works? Because this affects all the players we're talking about from opening round.
Yep. So now Christian Petracca's price will change after he plays 2 games in the SuperCoach season because he already has 170 points in his 3-round cycle. Obviously, the more points you score, the faster you increase your price tag. He's going to have that in there already, which is going to bring his break even down massively. And we expect him to do similar potentially against the Eagles and Tigers. So you're picking him because he's going to rise quickly. But also I think for me, seeing Christian Petracca hit the ground running just in a footy sense, how well he moved, how well he fit into that side. I know we saw it in the AMA series in the practice games, but fair dinkum game. Hear him speak about life on the Gold Coast afterwards as well. It just all adds up now and you just got to do it.
Yep.
He was the biggest riser across the weekend from the data that we had. So 36,000 changes. Now, it could be bringing in and out multiple times. That we don't have the exact sort of ownership change, but 36,000 coaches were interested in Petracca across the weekend, and I'm sure that could even change more. So he's super highly owned. Now, let's move on, though, to just another. I'm just going through the biggest of talking points, and we are going to the man in the room. 5 names.
Simeon, Kingsley, Wanganeen, Miller, Thomas Wilson.
Do you know what? It's bittersweet because, you know what? I'm very happy to be proven right, but probably not this early.
You can call me Mystic Mac because I predict these things.
So any new listeners out there, Simeon Thomas Wilson right here on the couch has been saying he's going to fade Naz for quite some time now.
I didn't actually think that was that big a recall, to be honest. And everyone just jumped on and I've seen other people being like, yeah.
Of course,
It's not good for him though because he wanted this to happen in round 1 of the AFL season so that everyone who jumped on, they got a 63.
Yeah.
But all the sheep like Chief are going to jump on.
I'll tell you what, it was I reckon at second quarter after I reckon 2 quarters in last night, I was like, oh, I'm in trouble here. I was like, I sent a message to the group chat. I was like, somebody take Naz. And then it's happened. So this is what if you were going to do what I was doing, you're like, I don't want to pay up for him. This is perfect because, he's got that now. He's got low store in early. His break even's going to go up really high. Like he might be able to still hit it, but you're going to get him discounted.
Well, if he's scoring low tons in the next couple of weeks, then, he is dropping down to 590, below 600K, unless he pops out a big 170, 180, which would reset that break even. But this is where on the other side of the Christian Petracca debate, he's got that 16 years rolling average, would need to go 170, 170 in the next 2 Naz to not lose money.
And that's what, and that's all. And that was the thing, I think, with a lot of guys, like the top price guys as well, your Bonts and your Cherries, Glenn Sheezer was probably actually just cheap enough anyway and he should store well enough. So yeah, I think that's and because also he's got his buy as well. So now it's all kind of, working, coming together where hope in theory was this, he stores okay. I still want him to store okay because, you still want to see it, and then after his buy, you just pick him up absolutely, however many thousands down, hopefully like 100,000 or something like that, and you just then go for the rest of the season.
On the flip side, now close to 30,000 coaches at the time of recording have also made that switch, and I think it's probably going to grow after along the week. Is there any case to hold Nas and just stay strong. If we all think he's eventually going to be a keeper in our defensive line anyway, he's going to bounce back. This is just a tag game. He's going to find his form at some point.
Well, but
it could be as soon as next week, who he is versing this week, in round one, versing Melbourne, who we obviously know had a monster game against them. Only the 2 votes last season, but we know that he can take them on and have a huge score. Is there any... Can you hold him?
I'm
can you
keeping
just
him.
hold him?
The other thing is, I mean, is he going to get tagged more? Like, we're in, we're AFL's, a game where, the AFL industry, so many coaches, imitate each other. Surely teams are going to say, hang on, you tagged Nas.
Nas revenge game this week.
It's
true. And there is the concern. I'm keeping him. I've been able to spread my money elsewhere. I've dropped another big name, which we will get to, has given me money. So I think if you are happy with how you've structured up, balanced your side, and got everyone you want in, you don't need to drop someone like Nas just because he's going to fall in price. I'm keeping him number 1 Supercoach defender from here. Anyone disagree?
Well, it might be the guy that we're straight swapping to.
He's still number 1 for me.
Okay.
From the start of the Supercoach season, which is this weekend. So the price drop, just going to take it.
I think there could be a case that his teammate is the number 1 defender this season. Now, moving into this, he's already had a great defensive role last season. Now Nas isn't there to steal the pill. He's mostly moving. We've seen him play mid-forward. That seems to be the role they want Nas in. So Trac Sinclair went 143 Supercoach points, 35 disposals.
Before I tear the Chief a new one.
Just before I'm going to say, you see that he was just looking at the camera there. He was a quote card here.
So you're throwing out the whole preseason, everything that Nas has done. What is he, a top 2 or 3 player in the competition after what? No, you're right. You're fine.
Yeah.
The Chief is now putting Jack Sinclair's number 1 man.
But Jack Sinclair was also finished the season really well last year with Nas in this role. So
I
don't think it's not that outlandish.
And to your point, I agree. If I hadn't thought of Sinclair as an option all preseason, but he has been, as you say, my team's gone through a lot of changes, but he's been in and out all preseason. I've been like, I've had iterations of the team where they've both been in because they both, I think, are top 6 defenders.
Yeah, I like Sinclair,
Based on Sinclair and based on the way the Saints are clearly doing the same as what they've been doing in the past, they were just moving around the back line once again, defending in their zone that they do and then pushing out from defence. And it's Sinclair and seemingly another sort of mid-price player in a moment we can talk about a little bit later, but Windhager and him seem to be just controlling the defence back there.
So what do you have right now in your team, Chief?
It's Sinclair. I've just swiped.
Nas.
Just straight swapped Nas to Sinclair. 143 and, they've got the same teams coming up. He's just got that break-even advantage and I don't see a scenario. I think Nas is the number 1 tag target, to Sim's point that he's been pointing out to us a lot of the time. I think Sinclair will have a pretty freewheeling role back there and be able to deliver solid
I agree
scores.
with that.
So
I agree with the Sinclair assessment.
Yep.
Just now, Anyway, we'll see.
All right, we'll see.
It's a good talking point. There's going to be a lot of different thoughts.
Yeah, well, we've got our team reveals coming up as well, possibly in a secondary episode, I think, based on the timing of this one so far. So stay tuned.
This is good heated debate. We need this. The super coaches
stay tuned.
Need this.
All
the
right.
Chief, 5 names in the fandom. Could just talk a lot of gold here. The Chief's trying to keep us in line. But no, we need this.
All right, well, we've got another hot topic to talk about here, and it's mid-price madness. There's so many mid-prices that we're looking at this preseason, many of which didn't actually play in opening round, that we get to just go in raw with these guys. But Tanner Bruhn, probably the big one that we all saw against Gold Coast Suns. 91 Supercoach points, 31 disposals, was leading their handball receives over even a Bailey Smith on the weekend.
They got thumped as well.
Yeah, and absolutely passed the eye test.
Passed the eye test.
Eye test, most important thing.
Got thumped there. And so the other thing is, at this stage of the season, playing on Gold Coast, playing Brisbane, that's going to be, especially Gold Coast, that's going to be hard.
Yeah.
Ball's going to be slippery. That looked like it's going to be slippery conditions. He played well.
Forget how good he was. Junior star, came in. We're not going to go into why he hasn't been there now, but you forget how much football talent he is. So 91, on the weekend, 96 in the Amy series. I've brought him in as well, 276K. We want our rookies and then our mid-price stepping stones. 150K is the minimum we sort of want when you look at with what a player can make and get you up to a premium if they don't become one themselves. With 91 in his average 3-round cycle now, and given what we saw, given the role and given how much footy he's probably going to get, then 150K looks the minimum for Tanner Bruhn.
Yeah, I think I was kind of concerned coming in. I just never knew how much he could win on the outside because he was typically a kind of inside contested guy. We hadn't really seen this side of his game. Obviously, you said been out for a year, come back, looks like he's got that aspect of his game up and running and was being used by the Cats all over the ground.
Yeah.
My only slight devil's advocate for starting Tanner Bruhn is, could you not have him just there as a guy you can fall back on if something else fails? Because he's got a round 2 bye. Now, we've mentioned prices don't change until after 3 games. Even with the opening round, plays round 1, that is 2 games. He'll have his bye. So you've basically got 2 games, then a bye. You could, in theory, start with someone either without a bye and get some points on the board. And if one of those guys fails, you can just drop down to a Tanner Bruhn. And that is honestly what I'm leaning towards doing, despite the fact that I think Tanner Bruhn is a great pick and you could just start him and save yourself a trade.
This is why we got the chief on, because 5 names and we're not going to make any mistakes in our opening team. So it's good to know someone who's they're going to make mistakes already. But
it definitely will.
No,
it is a good thought.
I've never seen Dossie actually think this deeply.
But then also you're backing yourself in, or backing that there's no one else from the other. How many other teams didn't play on the weekend? 8. No one else pops up a rookie, a mid-pricer that you have to get on, and then you're sort of backing, if you think Tanner Bruhn's going to do what we're saying, then you've already committed to doing that. Is it going to hamper you when you're trying to fix something else?
You're almost locking yourself into using a boost within the first couple of weeks, which I'm okay with. I think that's fine. It's probably just for me the case of like starting a Tanner Bruhn or versus trialing out someone like a Harley Reid and having the escape plan in case it fails. And I think we'd all agree though, based on a ceiling, Harley Reid's ceiling would be higher than Tanner Bruhn's.
Yeah.
So but the floor's going to be like you talked about. All right, so
I've got both.
Dossie and I have had this conversation before actually on this thing. Dossie and I went. Had a quiet beer together on the Thursday.
It's quite
Thursday just to celebrate, season coming around. Found him. Didn't come.
Somebody was.
We gave him the invitation, and he absolutely just said, "No, I'm too big for you guys." On that, we were chatting.
My favorite Ed in the world.
Yeah.
Ed Sheeran. Unbelievable stuff.
Just on that, on Harley Reid. Sorry, I'll do it. They could get absolutely smashed by Gold Coast this week. Like, how much ball is he actually going to get? This could be like. His floor, this is like a 70-80 game incoming.
120 for Harley. 1 coffee's on me on Monday. Doesn't score 120.
Don't underestimate the GOAT.
Yep, 120.
It's a very fair point. 5 names, but backing in the mighty Eagles. All right, let's talk about some other mid prices because there were plenty that caught our eye on the weekend that you could also come into the frame for our teams, and one major one for me as well. We'll talk about him in a moment.
The 2026 Bailey Smith.
We'll talk about him in a second.
He's scoring like Bailey Smith this year. Is that what you meant?
Connor Budarick, one that's emerged. 105 SuperCoach points, was being used off halfback, also getting all the kick-ins that he wanted. I think he had 8 kick-ins for Bevo on the weekend. Has he come into calculations? Now, we saw a sort of probably underdone Bailey Dale in this side, so factor that in how you will, but available as a forward to us, he's now got the 105 points in his rolling average. You'd imagine that, I think he scored an 80-something as well in the preseason games.
I think one of the good things about it, he's one of those guys we actually people have been looking at because of, potential.
It's not a name out of nowhere.
No, it's not out of nowhere. It's not like, I think one of the guys you'll mention later, which is almost out of nowhere, you're like, hang on. It's like, Bevo has those guys, Lockie Bramley comes in and Bevo goes, I brought you in. I'm going to, give you all the ball. It's just something Bevo seems to do. And Budarick seems to be the beneficiary of this. And you're like I've moved around stuff to my team. I think you have to.
Me too.
I think now you have to. I think he's almost like that Neale lot thing where you're like, get that average in there. Like he could make a lot of cash very quickly.
We liked him on the Lair in previous years when he was at the Suns. Just couldn't quite work out. He's not going to take 8 kick-ins every week, but he's clean, he's efficient as well. Doesn't waste. Well, I think it's probably what Bevo likes about him. And that price, $245K, doesn't need to score 100 every week.
No.
And he'll eventually, if he's still in our team at this stage, will be up for the dual position status as well.
Yep.
And he'll become a forward defender by round 6, the first positional changes. So we have to wait a little bit there to get the value out of him. He may not be in our teams by that point, but he's hopefully made to cash and could become a flexible player for us there as well. Was there any other players in this mid-price category? Because there was a few scores that popped off the page, but to your point, Sim, some of them we weren't talking about much. I'll mention a couple of the more popular options in that category first, though. Connor McDonald scoring 94. Has he done enough? He only had, I think it was 7 centre bounces or centre ball ups on the weekend as well. Is he still an option for you, scoring 94? I mean, there's certainly value, but is it enough when you've got other guys sort of in that category as well now?
I think you throw someone like Joel Frazier as well in that same conversation. 10 centre bounces for him.
Scored a 50.
Yeah. Has some on-ball time, also starts in the front and the back of the square and comes in as that extra, which is good. But I think I'll put him in the same bracket as Connor McDonald now. Is there enough? Where do you fit him? Because you're picking Sheasel, Petracca, maybe Sam Flanders still, Budarick, Filippo. Then you've got Dev Robb, Leo Lombard. So where are you picking a Connor McDonald or Joel Frazier?
Don't pick a Frazier.
I think they're both.
I'm taking the loss on that already. That was got bevoed.
I think there's enough. Yeah, I think
maybe
there's enough
a year early. Maybe a year early. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the what
it's a hard start.
I watched on Sunday. I was again kind of watching the replay of Giants Hawks, and we've got this kind of same coming. He's such a hard player to like. I just can't figure out if you know what I'm saying. Like
he might need a midfielder to go down. Or,
he's on Hawthorn as well. On Hawthorn as well, just don't seem to score that well. So you're like, he's just someone I'm really having trouble like figuring out. Yeah.
Kitty Coleman.
A couple of other players. Yeah, Kitty Coleman. He scored a 61, but Fant, you were the pass the eye test for you.
Did I took 2 kick-ins. It's not going to take all of them, but just the way Brisbane moved the footy out of fence, try to pick apart the Bulldog zone, and Chip went short, direct, and 5 or 6 kicks before they would get over halfway or get close to halfway. Kitty was also on the back end of that as well. They want him forward, not getting it in the first kick in the pocket, more so outside 50 through the centre of the ground. So I think they're going to share the ball enough in there for Kitty to get enough of the ball. 18 touches on the weekend. Remember, his first proper AFL game in a long time. So I think he did enough on the eye. I think the scores will come 233K in my side.
Another player in that similar bracket people were keen on. I was wary early, but time on ground's really hurting this guy. But Harry Rouston scored a 60 in 60% time on ground. Good points per minute numbers, but at the price, there's greater options have emerged. And I think you can safely jump away from that.
I know. Yeah, no, don't go that. Yeah.
Another player though, Jordan De Goey scored 90 in just under 70% time on ground. Is there any interest there?
Free snags.
De Goey also has that awkward round 2 bye.
Yeah.
Shared with a bunch of players. So,
again, fits into the category. Where do you put him in your forward line with those other options available? Is it a wait and see if his minutes increase? If we, what are they doing, McRae, with how they use that bench? So I think there's enough question marks to wait and see. Could explode against the Crows on Saturday night, yes. But I think I'll put him in the Frazier McDonald basket.
Yeah.
Enough to justify.
I've got 2 more names in this category that popped off the page that definitely hadn't crossed my radar, although some people had been talking about Cogs. Stephen Cornelio, 122 SuperCoach points on the weekend.
Hang on, 5 names. Woke up.
Oh, no.
Oh, this was a joke, Fat.
Where was it?
Let's go on the text thread.
Going through the Lair chat. Oh, I can't find it. I can scroll through back for all this thing Dossie's saying. But there it is. Was it always been a Cogs guy? All right?
Yeah.
No, that was purely a joke for the group chat there, fan. But look, Cogs 122 SuperCoach points does pop off the page, but to the eye was still playing in a much more forward dominant role, and that is not something I think is sustainable for Cogs. Could he be value? Yes, but could we use that midfield position until he becomes a forward? Can you hold him long enough for that to be value? Oh, it's a real tough price. He's low 300K. It's for me, it's no. But what do you think, 5 names?
Yeah, no, I don't think I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, it was Toby Green that did get the centre bounce bump as
I know.
expected. Just didn't get a huge score, but had the role.
He played the eye test was that's yes. So the role was there.
Interesting.
Is the other one who's
the other one was Joe Fonte.
Yeah, I'm hoping you bring him up.
Fontempelli, who scored 119 SuperCoach points as a defender there. So
this is the classic. Do you remember when Sam Taylor scored that massive score like a couple of years ago? And it's just like, do you bring him in?
Good player, Fonte.
The font can play though.
The font. Oh, I don't. I just don't. This is not. I don't know. He just seemed to have that like.
A lot of good
298. This is options.
A lot of good
probably
defender
down
options.
pecking order in terms of that price.
All right,
Are you picking over Blackiston? Probably not.
Let's move on from some of the mid prices and talk about a debate that is going on right now in the SuperCoach community. Errol Gulden versus Sam Walsh is one of the big ones. So both had midfield roles. Gulden's role was questioned by some in the community early days, playing sort of a little bit more forward as well in that first half, was playing forward up at stoppage, kind of like what Cornelio was doing. He was a high half forward moving into the ball, but also had plenty of centre bounce usage as we've been seeing throughout the preseason.
He also got a lot of tackles. He had a lot of tackles.
19 CBAs.
Yeah.
So, he was in there a lot, and especially in the second half. So, 113 SuperCoach points for Gulden, 114, I think it was, for Walsh. First of all, which one do you prefer? And secondly, can you start both? But which would you pick if you had one to choose one?
Oh, it's hard. Can you trust Carlton? No, probably Errol.
Yeah, I'm Gulden. I just think the other thing is he has that inside-outside thing. He's an aerobic beast. Like he could try. He wants to play the 100% game time kind of thing.
And he's a better kick.
Yeah,
way better kick than Walsh.
All right, well, we've got 3 Guldens here, but I don't have a problem with starting both. We've seen Walsh go 117 in the past.
Are you starting either? In your current team as of Monday, 1 p.m.?
I think current team, I'm going sort of limited buy round situation. So not either, but Gulden would be, like Gulden's been in 99% of my team, so he might be there by the lockout.
Yeah, it depends on your buy structure. You can have both, but it probably depends on how you're looking with buys.
Yep. Talk about the Rucks, because the Rucks have been a huge talking point this preseason. The scores weren't massive. Now, the Ruckmen have been some of our biggest scorers traditionally in SuperCoach. This week we had English top score with 117, followed by Brodie Grundy, 112. Then it was a mishmash of Pitnet, 108, Darcy Cameron, who's been sort of on some people's radars, 107, TDK got a 96, and then Roma, as you said, was ruled out with concussion, so he'll miss another week. Briggsy, 78, Meeks, 71, Witt, 71. It was just, there was nothing massive, but what did you think of the Rucks?
Well, I think we didn't, it's still too early to say, but I think
sample size,
what we know now is there's still enough uncertainty in terms of that price point. They can hold it, and if they're going to lose a bit off their top end scoring, just start one and go Lockie McAndrew at R2. Someone walked past my desk earlier and said, I've still got 2 premium rucks. I'm not sure. What did we learn from? I said, well, just go with one and Lockie McAndrew until we know more.
And I think, the English, like he still will, but he had to kick 2 goals to get there, which always, it's kind of a little bit concerned there. I mean, do you do this? This is just, and I don't know if I've got the stones to do it, and I don't know, you have to look more. Do you, I'm going to call it the punt rat strategy.
Yep. What is it? Do
you go like Dante Vicentini, Lockie McAndrew? You have a, I don't know, guys going to play like, at R3.
Mitch Edwards, Liam Reedy.
Yeah, or that's right. And then you just go, you know what? I reckon the Ruts those guys are going to store maybe, let's say 70 to 90. high-end Rucks are going to score, only, let's say maybe only 20 points better.
Yep.
I'm going to get that money. I'm going to, take that money. I'm going to get another primo.
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe. And that's why the Lockie McAndrew thing as well, I know it's a bit different, but I prefer McAndrew and, say, for me, it's Will Ashcroft or a midfield rookie, which we're a little bit unsure about after your Jagger Smith, and a premium ruck who we're still unsure about. So I think and that sort of lends into what you're saying as well. You're more confident in picking your midfield primos, defender primos, forward primos than you are ruck primos. So then rookies dictate our structure. So it's risky, but it makes sense in terms of the balance in where we think the best rookies are.
Your logic is, the top guys are coming down. These guys probably coming up a little bit just due to their value. So you're just picking the value.
Yeah.
Whew.
Again, though, as you just said before, very small sample size. Things are going to adjust quickly. And if we're talking about keepers, like next week or this week, round 1, we could see Grundy 200. And then that changes everything.
Yeah, McAndrew, all down the bath. Biggest no-brainer of the year, R2.
Wow. All right.
And this is 5 names, but he started it. So if it backfires.
I'm being blamed. Oh, dear.
R2. Yeah. McAndrew.
All right. Well, talking about players coming sort of down around the board, possibly still, we don't know exactly yet. But what about paying for top-end premiums in the midfield? Now, there was 2 guys that played on the weekend, still looked magnificent. Nick Daicos, 117. Seemed even unders, I think, based on his
41 touches.
Yeah, that's
41
that's
touches.
mad.
So 117 SuperCoach points for him. And then the Bont, who was playing a bit more forward than probably a lot of people would be wanting, but he still managed to score 113.
3 goals to get there, though.
Yep. Now, obviously tried to negate the attention from Josh Dunkley.
Yep.
Jordan Croft also got injured as well, which, Bont was an extra target in the second half. I'm not worried about Bont. It's Bont. But at 7.06 or whatever he is, he's definitely going to fall. And again, like with Naz, I don't care. And if you're happy with Bont, that's fine. Don't worry about the price drop. But if you need the money to spread out elsewhere, then they're the play. So I've dropped Bont, kept Naz, but dropped Bont just because of the price and extra money I can spend and the replacement I can get. So I've swapped Bont for Daicos, giving myself an extra 70, 80K, whatever it is. Helped me get the right rookies and the bottom end, get Budarick in at flex. So it's helped me out there. So it's not the fact that I'm scared of what Bont's going to deliver. I think it would be the same old Bont. The fact is now he probably does drop a little bit. And I can get Daicos, who, might match him, could have 60 against the Crows on Saturday night.
Is he going to
60 points or
60 touches?
No. Is Bont going to be the high scoring Bulldog though?
Ooh.
Ed Richards. No, I'm not saying this. But
he just said it. Ed Richards.
No, I'm not saying that.
Ed Richards will be the highest scoring Bulldog.
Don't say this. Jeez, he looked good though. Like is he now somebody? I mean,
talk about tag targets.
Well, you're going to tag Ed Richards over Bont.
Well, we've seen it in the past because Bont is generally untaggable.
He's worked his way out of a tag as well already. Ed Richards late last year. Hard runner.
He's a nice. How
good is his kicking inside 50 late there?
And he looks like one of those guys. A guy that the new rules are really help the new. Small sample size are really helping out at the moment.
Yep.
Well, he was the second top scorer behind Christian Petracca in opening round. Interesting on the pew front. Now, there was a few other
Clary
pews to talk about. Yeah, Clary, 121. Lockie Neale, 123. Some vintage names
Clary,
in the mix.
Speaking of competition highs, opening round high, 19 contested possessions.
Yeah. He was one that made his way in for a celebrity appearance in Dossie's team on the weekend.
Don't mind it.
Yeah, still, I don't know. I know. He did look good, but I don't like the white shoes.
Where are you bringing him in?
White shoes make him just look a little slower than he is, I think. So, I don't think I'm going there until I need to, Look at his career history. It's so scary looking at Clary's career history. He's had multiple 120s in there.
Yep.
I think
And he's gone 120 in opening round.
He's still quite cheap though. Like
500 flat.
Yeah.
Mm.
Lockie Neale is. Oh, are we going to see the Lockie Neale revenge tour? This could be like.
Jeez.
This actually, I don't know.
Revenge on
What's
who?
yeah.
I don't know. Everyone.
Himself.
I don't know. Like, yeah, on himself because he absolutely beasted it. Like in preseason, he started.
And now Cluggage is down too.
I don't know. It's just like he burnt me last year. So like before,
Remember I mentioned in preseason, it's the lowest number, like ownership number we've probably ever seen for Lockie Neale in like 10 years.
Yeah,
his ownership is incredibly low. Anyway, some names to think about. A couple of other pew-pews though. Dan Houston caught a few people's eyes, scored a 94.
Colin want the ball back in his hands.
Same with another Daicos brother, went absolutely ham in the back line there. We were expecting him to play more midfield, but was just mopping up off half back.
36.
Yeah.
36 touches.
Top 6 chance, definitely. I think we've touched on that previously.
How many buy-around players? How many
that's the thing. I think
can we have?
There's too much value and rookies, which we're going to get to, I think, in defence. We know they dictate our structure.
We will. We've forgot one big topic, and I probably went past it intentionally.
Go past it, Chief. We don't need to circle back. What is it?
Sammy Flanders.
Oh, no. Do you know what I reckon he was trying to do?
We already said it. The Bailey, he scored. What did Bailey Smith score?
He was trying to get under the radar, I reckon, so he wouldn't,
I actually just forgot to mention him.
Bailey Smith scored 67. Sam Flanders scored 77. So he is the Bailey Smith of 2026. Poor old Chief.
Just so you know,
holding firm, clearly. He didn't get a touch in the first quarter, just about.
You did say you were going to fade him in the draft.
Sam fade.
That was a mouthful.
Yeah.
Still the second most CBAs.
Yeah,
he was first as midfielder, TDK was the
very slow start. People they were mentioning on the commentary, the bright lights are getting to him. He's probably never played in front of this many people. All the rest. He'll be totally fine. But yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, I hope some coaches jump off him. 77, only barely got his own break even. So if you did want to fade, honestly, if you did have that in your mindset though, and you saw this, then there's your. We mentioned this a few weeks ago. There's your reasoning if you want to go against the grain. But I would suggest not.
What about his teammate Winhager?
Mm-hmm.
You kind of mentioned him a little before, but he's someone I think starting to get very interesting for. Everett, I don't know. I reckon if you watch again, if you're a fan of him,
one kick in, Sinclair had 8.
Yeah, but he's getting a lot of. He's been getting a lot of the ball back there. He's
I've seen it in pre-season as well.
Yeah,
we saw him go massive in the pre-season.
Yeah,
just hanging around the back, isn't he? Just hanging around the back.
Ross Lyon saying he reckons he left 800K on the table staying at the Saints. Interesting, he'd be a great pod. I think 102. There's just so many players in that sort of ilk. Let's quickly touch on rookies, but we are releasing the Rookie Bible updated edition, and we're going to do sort of more of a quick fire for anyone just coming fresh to the game and just wants a quick rundown of rookies. We're going to have you covered with that.
Dan Batten's coming in hot too.
He is coming in hot. One that we can rule out though, Artie Jones, who unfortunately got KO'd UFC style by Harris Andrews' backhand.
So I think final verdict on the guys you should pick coming. But we'll just talk about the scores from opening round. We know the scores are important for the mid-price stepping stones, but even more important, critical for the rookies. So Jai Sarong, Lockie Jarks in defence, 119K. Jarks got 84, Sarong 77. Great scores for 119K rookies. Already in, so you're picking a rookie now, they've already scored well. They've already brought their break even down. You just have to pick those guys in defence.
Who would you put on field out of those two?
Both can play on field. I've got Sarong just given how much there is in defence for the Bulldogs. But not by much. Leo Lombard as well for the Suns, another couple of snags, 69 SuperCoach points for him, 119K in the forward line. If you weren't picking him, we just have to pick him again. Now, so Philippo Jagger-Smith in the 60s. Now we're picking those guys anyway, regardless.
Top 6 forward.
We start off okay, Philippo. But, important, even someone like Malcolm Roses is a bit more expensive, but 68 points are guaranteed. Again, a bit higher price doesn't matter as much, but even Jack Carroll from the Saints. We'll talk about the roll across half-back most of the pre-season. Got a bit of the footy, didn't use it particularly well, but still scored 54 Supercoach points, 119K. That's 54 points that another unknown draftee doesn't have. So a few names there that you just have to pick and a few names that are bumped up the ranking just because they got the score in the system and they've got the role.
Keep an eye out for that episode coming tomorrow, but then we will touch on just one popular rookie that laid a bit of an egg, I would say. Would you say? We've got some warning signs for one popular rookie, and actually two possibly, but Zeke Gulden with a 37. What I will say, I think did enough to pass the eye test, but had low time on ground, presumably not, quite ready for the AFL rigours just yet. We saw him full body cramping in pre-season just about, and he's, in the 60% time on ground. Had, I think you mentioned to
team
me,
high 7 clangers, 3 free kicks against, few turnovers. So that he's already playing catch up when that happens. 16 touches, did a few nice things. Like I said, probably passed the eye test. 37 though, at 199K, that 37 is now locked in. We talk about the high scores are locked in. He's going to have to come out and score 2 significant scores, which I think he can. Like, I don't think that looked on the eye higher than the 37 game, but obviously it's hard work when you do make mistakes like that. I just think because of the other options now that we've got.
Even a Michael Selwood coming out, we didn't mention 70. And
then we've got Josh Lindsay as well in 122K from the Eagles, Sam Grill as well. So Ewan's just now, because the 37's in his average, he's probably bumped down the order.
What about Liam Reedy with the 31 as well? Are we, if we are looking for a way out somehow of this McAndrew situation, if we need to, Joey Montagna had Liam Reedy as his biggest burn man for the season. Is there any credence to paying up for a duff, a big duff?
Maybe. He wasn't very good, was he, Liam Reedy?
Yeah. Duff at least he's going to get games. But Reedy might be dropped.
Any other names we want to touch on? There was some other huge, obviously, scores across the weekend, but anyone that you guys would specifically want to talk about here?
I think we've touched over them.
All right. What about Justin McInerney, 142?
No. Traffinoni, as we call him.
Dorco,
No.
131?
No.
The Foss? Nah, I don't think, No. Sicily, 128?
No.
Tuke Miller, 120? Could get forward status.
Not yet, yes, round 6 maybe.
If you Noah Anderson go down, it'd be nice right for the picking after his bye, hopefully.
Flat 100.
The Chiefs put him in.
Chiefs moved the other way.
Really?
I'm sort of thinking people are jumping off. He scored 100. He kicked 1 goal 4 and had a hard tag from start to finish.
I think he's going to be a great player this year.
He's in Richmond. I think he's a guy.
I think you might be able to get him for cheap. Yeah.
Not after he gets 150 2 weeks.
Probably. Yeah. That's actually
as my captain.
No, that's fair.
Pew pew.
Your man Ollie Dempsey, I thought I'd just mention for you too.
Yeah.
109 but kicked 4.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, probably need a bit more. Bailey Humphrey, absolute gun. Like if you're in a draft lead, but he's not like we're in a I remember our keeper thing, don't I? But he was so good, but he kicked 4. So we're not talking about Will Ashcroft. He's pretty.
Yeah, that's right. Just don't pick him. No, don't worry about it. 30 touches, 98, 130 this week.
Levi Ashcroft better for mine.
130 this week.
One player, and I will just mention just a player that's actually dropped in ownership significantly, didn't play in opening round. Obviously, some shuffling going on here. Colby McKercher, 17,000 coaches deciding to shift him around on the weekend. Was pulled out of a VFL practice match, was going to play VFL on the weekend to get himself ready, was pulled out late saying the wording around it was just, he'll be fine, basically.
Yeah.
Let's just get him ready for round 1. We don't need him to play this. You guys have jumped off though, explain.
I haven't jumped off because of him and what I think he's going to do, but to get your Tanner Bruins in, to get Connor Budarick in, I've had to drop someone down and play a cheaper option. Lockie Blackiston is the man that's come in, and then I'm able to increase my spend elsewhere to get Bruhn and Budarick in. So that's the reason. I still think it's a great pick for 50K for someone who we know can average 3 figures. So I don't love taking him out, but I think the overall team is better for it.
Yeah, I'm trying to be a fan of him. I think also the other thing, haven't seen him in a preseason yet. Haven't seen him. So it's a little. I don't feel entirely comfortable about going and not seeing him play any footy. Is he going to have that kind of weird half forward role that he did as well? He probably won't. But also, I think the other thing is also he can just be like a stepping. If he's good, he can be a stepping stone, and he's still going to be relatively cheap.
Yep. All right. Before we wrap this up, we will do a team reveal episode. All 3 of our teams on one episode, and I'll publish that. Code Sports YouTube channel would be the best place to go because then you can have a look at the team on the screen. I will try and make it. We'll try and make it podcast friendly as well, but we won't be reading out the entire team. So if you do want to go look at that, check it out on the Code Sports YouTube channel, or just read Phantom's team if you do prefer that. Link in the description as well for that one.
I won't change my team.
I want to finish.
Yeah, you will.
I want to finish with this.
Yep.
Our toughest calls that we've had throughout this preseason. You guys have barely changed your team. I've changed 1,000 times, but who are some of the names? Yeah. Who are the names that you just can't decide, that are really hard to either leave out or you've brought them out a couple of times? Like, who are the names that you're still on the edge? And I know you say you're not going to change your team, but who's been
I'm happy
player?
with every single player.
Give me at least one player that you've been like, I don't know about this.
Well, it is Sam Darcy.
Mm-hmm.
Looked a bit underdone, but he's just one I want to. We spoke about it pre-show as well. Kick 2 goals too. We're better for the run, and with the quicker ball movement, he's going to be even harder to stop when there's less defenders able to get back and play on him. So I just don't want to drop him. Then he comes out and kicks 15 goals over the next few weeks. So he's in at the moment, and I've shuffled around to accommodate. I think it still works. Finn Callahan is the other one who fits into that similar boat. I think he'll also be better for the run. 89 Supercoach points, started slow, came home strong in the second half, 605k. Is there better options that we've seen at a better preseason? Maybe, but I'm backing him in. But they're the 2 I sort of can't take out at the moment.
5 names.
Yeah, at the moment in my flats, I've got Toby Green.
Still there.
Because I went back, the role was there for him, so I'm just going to back this one in.
Gee, that is a big call. I like it. Back yourself in.
I'm backing this one in. That's my, I reckon, big call. The other one, I just think he's going to go start the season so strong. I just can't get him in. I think LDU is going to be a really good pod for people who do it.
You spoke about him a lot, so he's okay. We'll reveal in the team reveal, but it sounds like he's not in for you right now.
No, not at the moment. But yeah, the other one, I think one guy, and I think you have to have him because he's so cheap. I think this guy's not going to be fun to own. I think Darcy Parish is really going to be a little bit of a frustrating one.
Not in for me.
But yeah, so those are probably the main. And also, whether I've been weighing up the Joshua Shelley v Murphy Reid for my forward line. But
Murph. I've had to get him out. I've had to take him out.
We'll wait until the team reveal for that one.
It's going to be a hard watch because,
yeah.
So give us your 10 names, Chief. You can't.
I've got a few, but Jack Steele for me is the big one. I've been talking about him basically since the preseason as a guy that I think will just bounce back to some of his best form. 110 plus. Not sure I can fit him in. I'm still teetering on the edge. He's in one day, out the next. I think at Melbourne, they're just going to need someone in there, and I think he's the guy. And I think, as we just saw with Clayton Oliver, 120 for GWS, Tom Green out the way, he's another guy that I'm, unsure about as well, but probably Steele and Oliver you can probably put in the same basket. The big one, though, it has to be Luke Jackson. Man on the table here. I've been big on him for a number of years. Had him in my team last year. I think he could be the best player in Supercoach. I've said that before. I think he could be if he just played ruck. And I just, as we've mentioned, Justin Longmuir, a.k.a. Timu Timu Bevo. What are we going to get from him? Is he going to play as an inside mid? Is he going to be a forward back mid ruck? I don't know. Yep. I really want him in my team, though. You'll have to wait for the team reveal to find out. And then Lockie Blackiston is the other one who I was certain of. I've been certain on for a long time. Just the moment I saw the role, I'm starting to doubt it.
Why?
Based on the scores that we're seeing out of these rucks. If he's a 70s guy, if he's a 70 to an 80, I don't know if that's worth it with the other options that we've got.
Make you money. He'll make money.
95.
We've got rookies that could make the same amount of money, and then I could spend that money to get a premium.
No.
All right.
Pick him,
so that's just another guy.
I can't wait to see your team.
Oh, I cannot wait. We all cannot wait here on the Lair. We cannot wait to get back here, obviously during this week for the rest of the preview content. But next week, 5 names when the Chief absolutely implodes after a weekend stinker. Monday morning, he'll be filthy. I've missed those days. But again, plenty of content to get through. Code Sports YouTube channel and wherever you get your podcast, codesports.com.au as well. It'll be a big week.
Huge week coming up. Team reveal next. Then we're getting into Rookie Bible and lots more coming this week. So subscribe on the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Going for 23,000 subscribers on YouTube Phantom as well. And if we hit that number, we're going to do a Lair catch-up at Gather Round.
Yeah, we're sending the punishments to me as well.
Punishments in the comments.
Yep, we're almost there.